This is the brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, and today we have these great cases from Spigen here. We'll be focusing on the 14 Pro Max today, but Spigen also have cases for the iPhone 14 Pro and the 14 Plus as well. We're also going to cover a couple of accessories too, which we'll talk about later. When you invest in an expensive device like the iPhone 14 Pro Max, it makes sense to get a decent protective case, instead of those cheapo Amazon ones, right? This is where today's sponsors come in. The first one we have here is one of my favorite Spigen cases when it comes to design and protection. This is the Spigen Tough Armor MagFit case. This is a beautiful protective case. I believe this model is one of Spigen's most popular products. I've been reviewing this case, specifically this model, since the 12 Pro Max. They did a great job on the 13 Pro Max last year, and now with the 14 Pro Max, they didn't disappoint. Especially now with MagSafe support, it's just such a great case. I use my phone a lot on a car mount, I'm always driving, so it's really important to have a strong magnet on this. I say this case gets a 9 out of 10 for me. What would it take for it to get a 10 out of 10? A couple of minor tweaks. The first one is just my opinion and personal preference, by the way, but the buttons, I think they should be more tactile on the side. They look awesome, very modern looking, but I think it's important to be able to tell the difference, between the volume up and down. Not so much when you're looking at the phone during the day, but at night when you're watching content or even driving. In some occasions you might have the phone at a different orientation as well, so being able to quickly tell where the volume buttons are for me is super important.
Always on Retina display is extremely bright.
The Tough Armor case has lots of cool features, but it really comes to life with this little kickstand at the back. This kickstand is such a cool idea. I really wish more case manufacturers would have this feature in some of their models. Watching content is something that we all do these days, right? And there's nothing worse than kind of trying to prop your phone up with your hand or some weird object. This kickstand just makes a lot of sense for me. With the kickstand, you can prop the phone in different orientations as well, and you get different viewing angle. This is great for those times when you're trying to multitask. You might be on a laptop and you have your phone kind of playing some content on the side, watching your favorite YouTube channel. I appreciate that this is a sponsored video, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time, but a thumbs up goes a long way in getting this channel discovered on YouTube. And if you like my stuff, a sub to the channel would be amazing. I'm here at least once a week. Alright, the Tough Armor case is an awesome case, really. Great internal protection as well. And despite this ruggedized sort of design and look, it's still very slender and very light. I love this opening at the back, as well as adding a nice aesthetic look to the back of the phone. It's a fidgeting factor as well, right? When you're holding the phone like this, or it might be texting, it helps with the grip actually. And to me, it kind of helps with the general handling of the phone, either taking out of your pocket or just holding it, right? It's a nice fidgeting bonus. I can't recommend this one enough. By the way, if you look in the description and the pinned comment, you'll see the links to all the products I've reviewed here today. Now, I appreciate that you might like clear cases, you might want to appreciate your deep purple or whatever color you went with your iPhone 14 Pro Max. Bit of ASMR there. And there's not much to say about this case apart from this. It's really, really transparent, as you can see here. And it doesn't get yellowed with time. Some of these cases you buy after a while. I won't mention the brands here. I don't review them on the channel, so you won't find them in my channel anyway. But I've had cases that I bought. They're cheaper, and it tells, right? After 3 months or whatever, they get a bit yellow with use. The ones from Spigen, they do last. They're really good quality. They don't get yellow. Same level of protection that you get with the other cases. Air cushion technology. Really great camera bump as well, taking into account the massive camera module and MagSafe support. Really cool. Now this here is the Mag Armor case. This case has these really cool lines at the back. Hear that? Which gives the case a nice texture to it. It also supports MagSafe, so wireless charging is not an issue here. Now the protection on the camera is something that I want to call out on this case because it's really, really good. A lot of cases out there look awesome, but then kind of neglect the fact that the iPhone 14 has this massive chonker of a camera module here, right? Especially the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max. So great job from Spigen here. This case also features the air cushion technology here on each corner, but to be honest with you, this case is not going to be as protective as the Tough Armor, of course, as this is more of a slim case really. But with this added grip texture at the back, it's going to be hard to drop the phone in the first place. Spigen also sent me the liquid air and the silicone fit here, which look great too. If you don't need MagSafe, you can take advantage of this ultra slim design that you get with the liquid air case without compromising on grip, because this also has a nice texture to it at the back. But if you do use MagSafe accessories and mounts and you still want a slim case, then the silicone case would be a better choice for you. It's got this super smooth microfiber lining here that will give you that extra protection. Right, if you're always on the go and you keep running out of juice, Spigen also has this 5000 milliamp portable charger, which I think is really cool. Where's it gone? It snaps onto your phone, either directly to the phone or with any of the MagFit cases I showed you here today, like the Tough Armor here. You can also just use your Lightning to USB-C cable that came with the iPhone. If you're holding the phone at the same time as charging, that might be a better option for you. This bad boy will charge wirelessly at 7.5 watts instead of the typical 5 watts that you might get with different brands. It weighs 4.8 ounces and it actually supports the iPhone 12 and 13 models as well. I went traveling recently and the hotel room had these terrible wall chargers. Basically, I had to be in the room with at least one light turned on for the electricity to work, and it was just like really weird. So having something like this came in really clutch for that. It's not something that most people would use every single day, but a great accessory to have nearby or in your bag, right? It's also great if you do a lot of gaming and keep running out of battery during the day. This doesn't really get in the way too much if you have attached to the phone. It has overheating protection as well, again, very important for gaming, and it's passed through, so you can charge the battery pack itself as well as charging the phone at the same time. For me, as I'm traveling a lot for work, it's a must-have accessory. Now, when it comes to protecting the display of the iPhone, I always recommend a screen protector with the iPhone anyway, or any smartphone for that matter. The display on the 14 Pro Max is amazing, and despite Apple's promises about ceramic shield, these are not immune to scratches or being smashed. I never used to like screen protectors so much, but I had a terrible experience recently with my Samsung S22 Ultra, and dealing with insurance is just not a nice experience, right? So what I've got on here is the Spigen GLAS TR Easy Fit Protector. It comes in this nice pack of 2 with a super easy to install kit. It's 9H real glass material, so really good for anti-scratching, with oleophobic coating, and fits perfectly along the edges here as well. And as you can see, it doesn't impact how the phone feels from a touch and swiping perspective. One thing you might be concerned about, especially with the iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max, is the dynamic island, right? And I've been using this for some time now, and the protector has worked perfectly with that. Either interacting with the dynamic island by touching, or simply using Face ID, which is behind the island. It just behaves exactly as it did without the screen protector. It doesn't collect any lint or anything on the sides. It's got a nice curved edge as well, so it's not rough when you're swiping from the sides or from the top or bottom. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video over here, and I've done this playlist over here that I think you're gonna like as well. Hope to see you there.